and you might think he's overdoing it a little bit. I can agree with that.
Oh,
but this
rats.
administration is definitely...
Hey, Jim, hold on 1 second. I got to take this call because this call might relate to our broadcast tonight. Hello? Hello?
Yes?
Oh, rats, I think I missed the call. Oh, crud. Whoops. Hey, Jim. Oh, shoot, I hung up on Jim. Rats. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hello, this is Jay Osa speaking.
Hey, Jay, Paul Healy. Sorry I missed your call.
No worries, Paul. How going today?
Let me put this microphone, the phone over near microphone number 3. Turn this dial up. Jay, how are you?
I'm doing great, Paul. Thanks for having me on today. How's it going with you?
Oh, swell. You just interrupted our meteorologist, the amazing Jim Corbin. But that's okay, because Jim was starting to speak about his devotion to our 45th president, and I was about to throw up. So I'm glad you called in to interrupt that.
Wow, I think I did everybody a service in the entire city of Attleboro, didn't I?
Thank you. Yes, you did. That's Jim trying to call back now. Anyway, we're going to stick with you. Jay, you're the voice of the Lawrence Lancers, correct?
That is correct. Proudly, almost 10 years on the job. It's my favorite thing that I do.
Yeah, I've been calling high school, college, and/or professional sports since 1986. This is my 10th year calling Attleboro sports, so we have that in common.
Congratulations. Yeah, it's a great job. It's a great gig. It's like fun to give the kids their moment in the sun, and we've seen a lot of good teams coming in and out of Lawrence. But I think this is arguably the best one that we've had since I took over the gig, at least.
Wow. We'll see. Yeah, the height of my broadcasting experience came from 1998 to 2002. Remember the Lowell Lockmonsters of the American Hockey League?
Of course.
Yes, well, I was part of the Friday night American Hockey League Game of the Night coverage with Hall of Famer Fred Cusick, Hall of Famer Brad Park, and who the hell is Paul Healy doing player interviews and fan features. But tonight, we've got a huge playoff game tonight as the number 18 seed Attleboro Fighting Blue Bombardiers take on the number 2 seed Lawrence Fighting Lancers.
Tonight, you guys are in for a treat. If you've never seen Lawrence basketball, get ready because they play a very exciting brand that I think a lot of people just enjoy from the entertainment perspective. So, one thing that you're going to see tonight is the full court press for maybe the entire 4 quarters. Right? We like to. Lawrence brand of basketball is play intense defense and run and get out in transition. So the way that teams try to beat Lawrence is by spotting up three-point shooters on the wings and using quick passing to beat the press.
Yeah.
Obviously, some teams have had a little bit of success, but at least this year, we're MVC champions for the first time since 2018. But if you're trying to solve the puzzle, and I know our head coach is not going to like me talking about the scouting report, but if you're trying to solve the puzzle of the Lawrence High Lancers, the first step is how do you get the ball up, because there's some MVC teams, that are just valid teams, Haverhill, Methuen, and we're beating teams by 20, 30 points just because kids can't even get the ball up against our defense. So if Attleboro wants to hang in there tonight, that is their first priority, is get the ball into safe hands, quick passing up the floor, and try your best to set up some sort of half-court offense, because otherwise it could be a long night. Yeah,
for the Bombardiers, they were a hot mess against the press earlier in the season, and they really turned it around. They lost to Taunton the first time they played them, beat them the second 2 times they played them, because they stopped trying to beat the press with a dribble and started beating the press with the pass. Primarily from a junior captain, Neo Franco. And the other emergence for the Bombardiers has been the coach's son, Connor Houle. He's the third of Mark Houle's son to play for the Bombardiers. He's a 5'7", 130-pound freshman, first guard off the bench. And this freshman, he's been the key, along with Neo Franco, to Attleboro's ability to beat the press. So that should be an interesting matchup tonight.
That should be very interesting to see. Yeah, one of the reasons why Lawrence has been so strong is because of their guard play, and most of the attention, especially from the scouts, is going to go to our two leading scorers, Isaiah Ogambare and Marius Canary. I can talk more about them in a second, but But our guard play this year has been superb. You know, in the starting lineup, Danny Reyes, I did an interview with him after our round of 32 game. You can check that out on the Lawrence Public Schools YouTube channel. But Danny is just, you know, he's 6'2". He's got, you know, a slender body, but he's able to cut through defense from the point guard position. And then our spot-up shooter, number 4, Ryan Grunon, at the shooting guard position.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a strong backcourt to start the game, then you're always going to be in good hands. And then our first guard off the bench, Jonathan Ocasio, number 22, he is, you know, he's just a slasher. You know, you get the ball in his hands, you play a little pick and roll with him, and him getting to the basket is gonna cause defense a lot of problems, especially when we have our two kind of big stars, you know, taking up a lot of the defensive capital.
Man. In your 87-67 victory over King Philip, another Hockomock League team that you played in the round of 32 in the playoffs, Ryan Grunon was 4 for 6 on three-point attempts in that game, and I think 2 of the shots were from so far out, he was actually in Lowell when he released the ball.
Yeah, he's like at the edge of the Merrimack Valley. He's making those shots, and it was a great start to the game. First of all, we had a theater. One of our singers at Lawrence High, who won a competition just recently, a national championship in soloist singing. Yeah. She sung the national anthem before that game, so it was an emotional vibe. It was an amazing atmosphere. And then to start the game, just a moment after that in the first quarter, Grunon hit 2 consecutive threes to set us out to an 8-0 lead.
Yeah.
And we really didn't look back from there. It was, you know, the first playoff game of the year. The crowd was obviously really into it. Mm-hmm. And to have that spot-up shooting come through for you in the first quarter, to have that lead first thing off the bat, like, that just intensifies the defense from there. Okay. And we really didn't look back. So, if the defense is not ready out on those perimeters, then yes, you can rain threes from pretty much any position except the 5 in our starting lineup. And
there it is. Well, the Bombardiers, they've got a three-point shooter, sophomore Hayden Crowley, who's the cousin of Connor Houle. He's hitting 40% of his three-pointers this year. Jaden Outland, Michael Beverly, and Neil Franco can crank him up as well. So if the Bombardiers can hit from the outside and beat a press a press stronger than one they faced this year, being the Lawrence press, hopefully it will be a competitive game. Down low, the Bombardiers have Justin Hanrahan, a left-handed 6'3" senior who is not a physically impressive specimen, but he is an unbelievably intelligent and gritty player, constantly coming up with offensive rebounds. What are Lawrence's strengths and weaknesses down low in the post?
So down low in the post, the conversation starts with our senior Isaiah Ogambare, goes by the nickname Toby, and he's about 6'8", and you know he plays kind of a traditional 5 role, right? And so defenses need to decide what they want to do as far as matching up goes, whether they want to play zone or if they want to play man, because we have 2 guys who absolutely need to be doubled at all times. So Isaiah Ogambare, he's gonna crash the boards, and if a team is a little smaller, right? If a team is doesn't have a guy that can match up one-on-one on Toby, then they need to double him, because otherwise he can just overwhelm any defender, and he'll go up with 2 hands and flush, and he's been able to beat teams almost single-handedly doing that. But then what complicates things for the defenses that play against Lawrence is kind of our other star player, the senior forward, Marius Canary. And Marius is like, for the Celtics fans in the audience, he's just like a big body, Paul Pierce, small forward. He's just going to slash to the rim. Yeah. And it's actually refreshing to see a bunch of high school kids who almost to a fault will take the ball to the hole every single possession, and will only rely on the 3 as kind of a last resort with time running out on the shot clock. So defenses need to decide, like, are you going to double Toby underneath, or are you going to double the forward Canary? Because Canary will beat you off the dribble, and then he can post. He's got a little mid-range game, and then, of course, like all of these kids, it seems like he's comfortable shooting the 3. And so those 2 guys are getting some attention from all the schools around here. We don't know exactly where they're going to end up yet. But for opposing coaches, like that's a headache right there, because one of those guys is ready to beat you at any moment. So the decisions that the opposing teams come in with, it's very interesting to see, are they going to zone up? Are they going to try to man up? Are they going to try to double somebody? So I'm very interested to see how the Attleboro defense decides to handle those two guys.
Are they going to try to sneak a sixth and seventh defender on the floor? That maybe will work as well. We're talking to Jay Oza. He's the voice of the Lawrence Lancers. They're ranked number 2 in Division I. They'll host the Attleboro Blue Bombardiers tonight in the round of 16 in the Division I playoffs. You were mentioning the slashing guard, Marius, is it Canary?
Canary.
Canary. Okay, it is the Canary. All right. We'll go with that. He was the MVP of the league this year, the Merrimack Valley Conference, which is an outstanding conference. And Jesus Moore, does he pronounce it Jesus or Jesus?
Jesus, we call him Moose. Moose is his nickname, so we call him Moose Moore. He's a Lawrence High graduate, football player here, and junior high, so he's a middle school gym teacher. He's one of our buddies here. He does a great job with these kids.
My sister Mary, who was about 5'7", 125 pounds, and set the Westboro High School record for the 220. Her nickname was Moose, but that's a completely different story. How long has Moose Moore been the head coach at Lawrence?
I want to say 5 years maybe, and don't quote me on that, but I feel like he's going on 5 years, and he's hungry. He's a competitive guy. I mean, the guy was a linebacker. You know, he looks like a linebacker, right? And so, before the games, he's fired up. He's a motivated guy. He's from Lawrence. He's through and through a Lawrence kid, a Lawrence guy, and he's got friends all around the school that I'm talking to. He's excited about the run. He wants nothing more than a state title. I know that really motivates him. Yep. This is kind of our year. This is our year to get the job done. Last time we won the MVC title was back in 2018. Made a good run, and that was, of course, back when the MIAA divided the tournament into the 4 regions, right? So we lost in the North final over at the Songus Center. So it's our first real kick at the can. Since then, we've been building up the program. We've got we've got the hype, we've got the excitement. I just hope that. Hope that the boys are ready, and I haven't seen Attleboro play this year, so I'm sure it'll be a tough test. It's a Sweet 16 matchup, and the atmosphere around the school is just something special. We all have our brackets up in the hallway. Yeah. We're all talking a big game. We spend most of the year ranked in the power rankings at number 1 before late regular season loss. So we're talking a big game, and hopefully the boys can back it up on the court. All
right, and that'll be available tonight to hear live on WAR Radio, WARAradio.com. We sent the links to you and to the athletic director, WARAradio.com. And then after the game, I think, 24 hours after the game, it will be posted on the LPS, Lawrence Public Schools, YouTube channel site?
That's right. You can find us, Lawrence Public Schools YouTube channel, and, of course, Lawrence Athletics on Twitter. We'll be posting out those links to the YouTube channel if you want to see any interviews with the players that we mentioned earlier. Then all of that, you just got to search Lawrence Public Schools on YouTube. And, we're really proud of our athletes. We're really proud of our program. And, hey, also very proud of our media department, and especially the crew, our student camera crew and our producers who do the broadcasts.
Excellent. Well, Jay, thank you for spending time talking with us. I'm glad to hear that Lawrence likes to take the ball to the hoop and not rely on the three-pointer the way the Boston Celtics constantly do. I hate the three-point shot for 2 reasons. As John Wooden said, 4 passes that lead to a layup ought to be worth more points than one guy hoisting it up from 30 feet. And number 2, my shooting range ends at about 17 feet. Fat lot of good the three-point line ever did me.
I can relate to that for sure.
Excellent. Jay, I've got to go because we got to get our meteorologist back on to give the folks a weather report. Look forward to meeting you tonight face-to-face.
All right, thanks for having me on. We'll talk again sometime.
Go get him.
All
right, there he goes. Wow. He's passionate about the Lawrence Lancers, isn't he? All right, we're going to hang this up, and then going to call the amazing Jim Corbin back. Da, 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 da.